Most people do not realize that their thoughts are controlling their life. You wake up in the morning, even before you are fully awake, the first thought runs through your mind. Then comes the next one and the next. What needs to get done today? What happened yesterday? What is still unfinished? Or you lie awake at night and thoughts circling endlessly, and somehow it only gets worse. All the scenarios that play out in your head, especially when you are a mother and your child is not home yet. You think and you think, without even really noticing. And that is considered normal because we all think all day long. But very few people ever ask, why am I thinking the particular thought? Why is this thought even here? Many people feel paralyzed by their thoughts, especially when it comes also to world events or suffering. We try to calm thoughts down, to control them, to meditate them away. But what if the thoughts are not the problem? What if they are just an echo of something deeper that is active inside of you? Let's dive deeper. But first, a warm welcome on my YouTube channel. My name is Silvia Soyadaya Group. I'm a spiritual medium, a healer, a Vedic astrologer. And if you are interested in energies, spiritual awakening and healing, feel free to subscribe to my free newsletter where I share valuable insights every week. You will find the link below this video. Where do your thoughts really come from? And no, thoughts are not random. They do not just appear out of nowhere. They do not come for no reason. And they do not disappear simply because you ignore them. They have a story. And often that story began much earlier than you realize. You receive a message, a short, vague response without explanation, perhaps from your partner, and suddenly you think, did I do something wrong? But where does that thought really come from? Or you sit at a table with friends. Everyone is laughing, talking loud, and somewhere inside you hear, I do not really belong here. I do not truly fit in. A thought, but not a random one. It comes seemingly out of nowhere, but in truth it rises from your subconscious. And it is connected to something you may have known for so long that you no longer notice it. Something that is not truly yours, but still has influence over you right now. And this is exactly where the journey begins. That thought is just the surface, only the result of something much deeper. Because no thought exists without a feeling that came before it. A tightening in the belly, a pressure in the chest, a trace of doubt, guilt or shame. And it happened so quickly that you barely noticed it, that it was first, before the thought. And you might now say, I'm not this thought. I am not this thought. And this is a widely used method to say, I'm not my anger. I'm not this fear. I'm not this negative energy or thought. But what if it is much more powerful to ask, why am I thinking this right now? Why am I feeling this right now? Is it maybe not even about what I think it is? Because thoughts are often just covers, masks. They tell you stories, but they hide something deeper, something that actually creates these thoughts and feelings. And this is what it is really about, finding out what is underneath the thought, what gives rise to it. And those are the beliefs we carry within us. Beliefs that trigger emotions and creates thoughts. For example, a belief like, I'm not good enough, or if I do not perform, I will be abandoned, or I'm only worthy if I achieve something, or I must be strong, otherwise I will be hurt. These beliefs operate from the subconscious, or you can also say from your overconsciousness. They whisper constantly and remind you, see, I told you so, especially when the outside world seems to reflect that belief back to you. When once again you feel like you have failed, when you did not achieve what you wanted, when you gave up too early because something blocked you. And that is exactly why they feel so real, because you look around and say, yes, they are right, my negative beliefs are right, I failed again. And unless you become aware and ask, wait, which voice is actually speaking to me right now? You have already lost. And that belief gains even more power over you. And it will continue to make life feel heavy. You cannot change your beliefs with your mind. You only change them through feeling. But who really wants that? That sounds old-fashioned, does it not? Being soft, letting go, losing control. Who wants that? It is much easier to keep thinking, to distract yourself, to try something new, to tell yourself things will change eventually with time. They will not. Let me tell you, nothing will change unless you change. The world is what it is. It does not care what you believe. It simply reflects it back to you. That is what energy does. That is how the universe works. What you radiate always returns to you and creates your reality. And where else could it go? It is your frequency, and your frequency comes back. So in truth, we do not need to fear karma. Because whatever we bring into the world, yes, it will return to us, to balance, to be seen, and to be understood. It is about learning. It is not about guilt. It is about understanding. And if you stay for just a moment, instead of thinking further or distracting yourself, then something very powerful can begin to emerge. Something honest, no drama, no struggle, just you meeting yourself. And that is exactly where your path back to strength begins. Not through your mind, but through the truth of what you feel. It actually does not take much. No hours of meditation, no internal control center, no complicated formulas. It only takes the willingness to feel and to ask. To ask why a certain feeling is there, why there is pain, why there is fear, why there is sadness. Because all of it has a reason, and that reason, that key, lies in your negative beliefs. So where do negative beliefs come from? Where do those negative beliefs come from? In truth, you were born with positive beliefs that you are good, you are lovable, and you are loved. That life is kind to you, that you are enough just as you are, that nothing is missing in you, that you are allowed to explore, allowed to make mistakes, which are actually not mistakes, but learning experiences, that you are allowed to feel joy, excitement, and to do what brings you deep fulfillment, even if others say it is wrong or it is not good enough. But we begin to believe the things others tell us. For example, that we must first perform or achieve something before we are lovable, and much more like that. We take the ideas of others and turn them into our own. And at some point we defend them just as strongly. We defend those negative beliefs so strongly, as our parents or society once did. As if it were the only truth, just because we were trained that way, because we were raised that way, without ever questioning it. Many people also feel paralyzed by their thoughts, especially when it comes to what is happening in the world, the suffering in the world. They feel the collective pain, the fear, the pressure, as if it were their own. And it feels heavy, it pulls you down. You ask yourself, what else is coming? All these war scenarios, the economic crisis. And compassion is something very important, especially when we witness that others are suffering, when innocent people die, and it feels like the world is collapsing. But even then, you are allowed to ask yourself, what part of this resonates with me? Is it my own helplessness? That deep sense of powerlessness? The longing for peaceful life and the pain of not being able to live it? And this is what creates your thoughts. That start spinning in your mind right after you wake up, and sometimes stay with you the entire day or your entire life, leaving you feeling drained, heavy, hopeless. That is why it is so important to come back to yourself, to return to your own center, and that happens through feeling. Feeling brings you home, back into your own life, which might actually be safe and okay. If you do not lose yourself in thoughts and fear-based scenarios. And yes, we cannot control the outside world. But what is much more important is your energy. Your energy creates your life, and your energy is shaped by your inner beliefs. So the best place to begin is always there, with the belief behind the emotion. That is where immediately relief can happen. That is what makes you stronger from within. And then, no matter what happens around you, you feel stable, grounded, and calm. Because your experience no longer depends on the outside. And you will start to see more and more clearly that your energy, guided by your beliefs, is what shapes your reality. Not the world, not the news, not the chaos. I have worked for many years with people who long to reconnect with themselves, to find out who they really are and what truly makes them happy. And what I see again and again is this: it is not easy to go into this process alone. Not because people are too weak, but because they were never taught how to feel themselves, how to ask the right questions, how to allow themselves to move through the pain and reach the truth on the other side. But that is exactly where the miracle happens. When you stop running away from yourself and start coming home to who you truly are. When you feel that there's something inside you that is much, much greater than any doubt. I have seen what happens when these inner blockages begin to dissolve. Clarity, peace, deep excitement. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you finally arrive within yourself. And if you feel that this is exactly what you are going through right now, then I warmly invite you, book a free initial call with my team. Together we will look at where you currently stand and how we can support you on your path. You do not have to walk through all of this alone, but you can choose to take the first step today. I look forward to meet you. And thank you so much for listening. Share this important video and do not and never forget, I love you.